In the blink of an eye, Dusk finds herself back outside the Forge of Wonders, alive and well. But my gosh, was that a close call. It is clear to Dusk that surviving in this new world is no small task. If her brother was still drawing breath, he surely would have fallen again. If she is to bring him back, he'll have to be better than ever. And Dusk will need to be better too. These mutations have been changing her, making her stronger and weaker. But one thing that has never changed is her mind. The power it holds, both psionically and her general intelligence. I think it's time to start to build, forge. It's time to hone those skills once again, Dusk. Let us begin. Kia ora, Legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead. No Hope, where we've just lost a load of batteries. Apparently, they've fallen onto the ground, but they can't be picked up, so who knows what happened to them? It's fine. Oh, they fall into the Molly rucksack, and then I guess some charge fell to the ground. Not sure what happened there, but oh, we're seeing our raptor tail. I think for the first time, we're actually seeing it properly. Kind of feathered, just sticking out the back of Dusk's lab coat here. Now, we are very lucky to be drawing breath still. We had a very, very close call. And so I think we are going to need to try and improve the armor that Dusk wears, the equipment that she wields, and she does have some very good equipment. The parabolan wool blouse and the breeches, we are going to want to try and see if we can repair those. I think we're going to have to try and get similar ones, just the non-enchanted ones, to repair them. Also, our wizard hat has taken a bit of damage as well by the looks of things. And that's just made with cotton, so just getting some cotton patches should help us repair those just fine. But yeah, for this we do need to have the parabolan wool, which I'm hoping we're going to be able to get by kind of stripping the other stuff apart. And then just in general, there is so much work that I would like to do with Dusk. Now that ancient dwarvish book that we have has a fantastic weapon in there, but we need Fabrication 7 to be able to learn how to actually use that. Yeah, this relic longsword. We need to have a fabrication level of 7 to be able to actually read and kind of understand that. We are kind of under painkillers at the moment, so we're not going to worry about taking any more right now. I think the first thing that we're going to want to try and do is just have a good chat with Valzane and see when things are going to restock here. Oh, 5 days and 23 hours. So that means that we probably have new things here now. So, yes, indeed. There are new things. Sinister Minor Staff of Bleeding. A magical foci. You can cast spells with it in your hand. It's made with wood and a red orb of crystallized mana at the handle. Wielding it slightly increases your mana regeneration and allows you to cast the Bleed spell. Well, that's kind of fun. Cast Bleed at level 5. It can also be attached to a spear strap, so that's a useful way to store it. But in general, if it's helping with your mana recharging, you probably want to have that out more often than not. Stands a very low chance of remaining intact once fired. Okay, so like once you use it? I guess because it's a minor staff, there's a chance it could just kind of fall apart. The eel ring that's here is quite fun as well. Allows you to dodge 2 extra attacks per turn. But of course, we do already have rings on. We have our ring of speed and our ring of greater wizardry. I'd be okay with us trading the ring of speed out for something better. We also have a disorientation bracelet here, known as the worst version of the petrification bracelet. This tool casts a spell that temporarily breaks the whole movement system of a creature, disabling its movement for a short time. Okay, so I'm guessing kind of confuses them, makes them wander all over the place. So there's lots of wands here, which is great. There is another greater ring of wizardry. We have these storage rings as well. I do think though, having rings that are going to help increase our stats are going to be better for us. We have an endless teapot here, which is neat. Turns into endless teapot green tea. Well, I should actually have a look at our endless flask because we haven't quite figured that out yet. Oh, it can turn into an endless flask of whiskey. Is it just whiskey? I guess maybe. Right, so it's not what you put in there, but we probably activate it, I would imagine, and then it just gives you the whiskey. I'm assuming that's the case. So it's fun. If we had like a way to turn that alcohol into power that could potentially be useful. Of course, we do have some more warp scrolls down here, so that's cool. It's reselling the steel drum. And of course, we do have the parabolan wool blouses and breeches. And looking at this here, if we take them apart, we'll get felt patches and the yarn. I'm assuming that we'll still be able to break down the yarn or the patches from that point. So let's get one of those for the moment. And we'll also look at getting one of the, well, do we need one of the breeches? I guess we could just start with one of these and see how that goes for us. I think we are probably going to want to try and get some more of these warp scrolls just because they're very useful. They are, maybe we should limit how much we're spending. I'm not sure exactly how many denarii we are trading there, but it does level things out for us. Oh, of course, and we do have some manuals here, which I kind of just went straight past, but we either know all of these or we are unable to use them. So let's sign away that deal there. And I think we'll just go have a quick talk to the others, namely the Librarian, just to see what books, what spells, what things we might have access to. Okay, and it looks like I think we've looked through all of these. Actually, no, that is not true at all. We have Scroll of Lesser Quantum Tunnel. The spell manipulates some quantum something or other to tunnel you through a short distance of space and even matter. Unfortunately, there's the whole uncertainty thing as to where you come out. It leaves you a little dazed on the other side as you reorientate yourself. So it's kind of a short distance teleportation, it seems. That's cool. That is fun. Obviously, we do have Barnacks that can potentially do that, but I think that will be worth it. Heart of the Hurricane sounds sick. It is a spell. Compress raging storm winds into a shell around you to protect you. Great. That sounds super fun. We have Domination here. It's an animus spell. Force the undead creature you pick to obey your command, making it an ally for a short time. Great. Controlling the dead. I really like the sound of that, especially if we could get like a Hulk or something on our side. Very, very nice. Okay, I really am unsure as to whether or not we have access to this book. It's an alchemy book about making specific potions. We already know how to create and craft a few, but there are others, like 19 more that we could learn from that. It's not overly expensive, so I suppose we could look at it. Everything else though, we have. Obviously, we do have some more denarii that we could trade for here as well, but I'd say that looks pretty good to me. So heading back on over to our denarii collection, which is still looking super healthy, mind you. That's going to leave us with 15 credit down here. I'm okay with that. Thank you. And then I suppose we'll have one last little chat up here. Helen, do you have anything different for us? Obviously, we could get another cavalry saber, seeing as our last one blew up. Oh, we do have the mana mutagenic primer. I definitely want that. And I'd say that's just about it for now. Indeed, indeed. And that leaves us with a little bit of a credit here as well. Okay, great. So that's all good and well. We still have a pretty major issue on our hand with Dusk being as ridiculously tall as she is. She's needing to eat just oh so much. So we just ate all of the berries and foods and other bits and pieces there. We've spent 1,600 calories today. We have consumed 20,000 calories. So I would hope that we get out of being underweight because, we've been eating a lot and we will eat more. I think before we go any further though, we probably will just go and digitize the books that we just picked up. We do have some memory cards to read as well. Fried eggs, all right. So 3 books for us to store here, which means that we probably already had access to the other book. It's okay, we're just gonna go and sell all these books back to the librarian down there. I am really looking forward to learning Heart of the Hurricane because that just sounds like a really cool spell for us. Okay, and we're getting an alright amount back for that. We're trading for denarii and we'll still have just that little bit of credit left over there. And our social skill has gone up to 2. Yes, we really still need to try and improve that. So as it stands, what is our plan, at least for the near future? Well, for one, we do need to recover a little bit. But I really want to try and focus on learning. Both spells, our psionic powers, and skills. Most importantly, skills. Looking around here, we do have an elf workshop that isn't too far away. There are a few of them around here, some more accessible than others. But what we really need is somewhere that we can just kind of spend time away from trouble as much as possible. We do have a cabin here. We do also have this Magicalism cabin here. And I'm racking my brain as to whether or not we've actually been to this one yet. I am assuming yes, but Dusk's brain is a little scattered, as is mine. But looking at it, it does seem like a relatively safe place for us to stay, at least for a little while. We would have access to a number of different berry types around us. There are shrubbery around here as well, so there's a good chance that we could find a decent type of shrub there. Hopefully something that's producing a fair amount of berries. We have spiders down here, so we may be able to get access to eggs. Oh, and there's the Taurosaurus nest down here that we may want to try and swing by just to try and grab a few eggs to, well, fatten ourselves up. All the while, I don't want you to think that I have given up on reaching this lab here. There have been some excellent suggestions when it comes to literally burning down the woods around here to see if we can find an entrance, and I do think that that is a really good idea. But right now, I think we just have to spend some time trying to improve Dusk as much as possible. So, we're going to get underway with that. We're going to start to make our way out towards that cabin. I think before anything else, we'll just make sure that we stop concentrating, because I feel like that's also been, well, maybe it hasn't been using as much in the way of calories, but I feel like it has been exhausting us a little bit. And then we are going to journey on out. We're going to visit this cabin first of all, though. Oh, and I've not forgotten about the dragon's lair. Oh, well, I did forget about the sunlight. We will be returning to that lair to, you know, gather what we can. And okay, I have not actually been in this cabin. Oh, and of course, it's difficult for us to get the leverage we can with the tool that we've got. And that's a heavy bookcase. Too heavy for us to lift right now. Well, it certainly looks like it's blocking something there. You know, I think we're just going to spend a little bit of time in the area gathering what berries we can from trees and bushes. We're going to have ourselves a good feast as we try and wait for this pain to go down a little bit, because it could certainly be better. And we probably want to have a look at bandaging some of our wounds that are worse off. Oh, okay, well, we were spending a little bit of time just trying to take apart the parabolable blouse. It's going to take about 5 hours for us to do that. Our strength has gotten higher, we've been hearing some noises, but we also see your mutation abruptly ends from the lack of nutrients back to Earth for now. Your body starts feeling normal again. So let's just have a look at our effects here. So we still have the Tyrant mutation going on, but we don't have enough mutagen in our system. So we're going to go and pop, maybe, do we want to do a catalyst? I think if we do the catalyst, we're going to want to try and get the mana mutagen in there as well, so we'll have both that and the Tyrant one at the same time, because when in Rome, right? So let's take that primer and see how that affects us. So we're not changing at the moment because that's just the primer, really. Okay, so this is where things are going to get interesting. I mean, yeah, we're going to be sitting here, spending some time out, so why not, huh? Why not inject a mutagenic catalyst into our system? And we should be warping. Yep, there we go. It feels nice. It does, doesn't it, Dusk? Oh boy, okay. Well, we're actually in distressing pain at the moment. I think, nope, still too much pain. All right, we'll let some more time pass. Hopefully, whatever is making noise doesn't break out. Excellent. Okay, so first of all, let's start focusing on pain suppression. Well, trying to. There we go. Excellent. So that should get a little bit better. And then we are going to go and enhance our strength. Let's also just change over to force unarmed, so we're not using the parabolan wool blouse to mess with anything here. And we'll go and pull that out the way. Okay, there is nothing there. That's totally fine. So then, I suppose we're going to go and smash these doors down then, huh? Well, we're not going to smash down the front door, but I am just going to smash down each of these, and then we're going to go and have a look and see what we have waiting for us inside. Oh, okay. A screecher and a slathering biter. Well, our shooter earplugs are in, so we shouldn't get dazed here. Let's move in and do what we need to do, Dusk. There we go, first one down. Let's let it head on over towards us, and the second is dealt with. Okay, let's just go and haul this over. Oh, Feral Radiant. Okay, hello. Your eyes are bright with light, and there's a slight shimmer around their form. Yeah, that's a little concerning. Yeah, okay, we instinctively dodge out the way of a photon beam? Okay, well, 2 can play at that game, can't they? Our focus isn't great right now, so we're going to have to leave things as they are, but we are going to try and use a force shove to go and slam them back away from us. We're going to go for a push, slam them into the wall. All good, they are currently downed. We move on over towards them, and Dusk bites a chunk out of the Radiant Feral. Okay, so much for being a herbivore, huh? Well, no, we just have a meat intolerance. We just spit it out again immediately. Let's batter that corpse, Dusk, and let's see if they had anything interesting on them. Oh, a strange crystal golden. I don't feel like we've seen a golden one before. We can activate it as well. Ooh. Right, okay, I think we are probably going to try and activate that. Let's just see what's on this body here. Had a Glock, some chocolate bars that we can't eat because we've got a junk food intolerance now. I think what we're going to do here is, oh, there's a bear trap on those stairs. We didn't bash down that door. The feral came upstairs to investigate us. Very interesting. Okay, so there is some stuff in the way here, so we're just going to haul that back. It's just so that we can keep this room kind of well enough alone for the moment. Not much else here. Okay, that's fine. We can probably sleep in that room. That's good. Oh, nice. Okay. Got ourselves a wood stove. So I do want to check out that Magicalism cabin, just in case we haven't checked it out, like this one here. But I'm pretty comfortable in this space for now. So I think if we are going to head out there, it'll probably be at night. Let's enhance our strength here. Just make it a little easier for us to do this. There we go. We are through. Oh boy, and there's quite a few traps in here. Spiked boards all over the show. A hedge trimmer. Very interesting. Okay, and swim cap. Right, well, the nailboard traps we're probably just going to leave there for now. We'll close up that door, and we'll try and navigate around this bear trap. Okay, we might have some interesting folks waiting for us downstairs. Let's just peek first of all. Looks like it's been only kind of dug out recently. And we do have the means to make another Biomancer's Spear with this here. But let's just see. This is like a full-on bunker out here. Oh, wait. No, this is a Last Man on Earth shelter underneath a cabin. I haven't seen it before. That's very, very cool. And we do, have a shotgun there. Okay, so no need for us to go into that room. We're going to be mindful that there could be other traps down here, but this is a super, super safe place for us to call home for the next wee while. Oh, we've got a wood fire right next to the bed. Okay, I think I know which one's going to be your room, Dusk. We've got an actual water pump down here as well. We can store water in that tank, which we can probably try and preserve it as well. Not preserve it, purify it is what I was trying to say. We can do cooking on this wood stove. Yeah, really, really good stuff. What's in this tank here? Mining out for the bear trap, of course. Nothing right now. Okay, so we are going to stop concentrating, which will probably bring back a little bit of pain. Not too much at the moment. And there isn't a lot of wood down here, but there are a lot of things upstairs that we can get wood from. So just in the interest of using magic, we shall use our mage light. Magical light, there it is. Excellent. Okay, let's try and take this thing apart then, huh? 12 planks should keep us good for a decent while. There are more planks that we can actually haul around here, so we'll just go and grab all of those first of all, and then make our way back downstairs. Let's close that door. So we'll probably stay in this area for now. Okay, we've got a little bit of pain. That's okay. We're just gonna bring this chair over here. This is gonna be our little work area. And it's gonna keep us just feeling nice and happy being this close to a fire. Let's get that lit. Excellent. Okay, now we might get a little bit warm, potentially, but we'll check that and we'll take things off as we need to. We are considered hungry again, so we are gonna get munching. Oh boy, okay, and leyline surge of power. So there is a trade-off with our mutations, and this is one of them. This is from the mana mutation line. Our strong mutation turns into weak, so we are a little bit weaker than before. But strength isn't exactly where Dusk's true strength lies. And I am going to be intrigued to see how these two different mutation paths kind of fight against each other here. But yes, for the moment we're going to be continuing on with this blouse, which is going to take us quite a while to work on. So I will continue to keep you informed as to when we mutate, like this. That, no doubt, is from our tyrant line. Prey animal has turned into animal discord. Aggressive animals are more likely to attack you. So it's kind of the same, but I guess they're going to attack us, but not in a I'm going to hunt you way, but rather I'm intimidated by you way. Because, I mean, yes, we are 220 centimeters tall. That'll do that. Oh boy. And we just mutated Savant. And we're considered famished again, even though we've been eating a ridiculous amount. I'm going to eat, and then we'll check back on that mutation. We're definitely going to have to do some more berry harvesting before the evening. We've nearly had 30,000 calories today. Still underweight. That's fine. So, let's have a look at Savant. Okay, you tend to specialize in one skill and be poor at all others. You advance at half speed in all skills except your best one. Note that combining this with Fast Learner will come out to a slower rate of learning for all skills. We don't have Fast Learner, we do have Fast Reader. Okay, so right now our best skills is throwing. That's because of the magical throwing knife bags that we have on. Everything else is kind of like 7. 7 is the highest for like spellcraft and metaphysics and stuff like that. So if we take off those bags, which I think would probably be the right idea right now, bag of infinite throwing knives, we'll take those off. Our throwing is now at 3. Okay, so melee, unarmed combat, and our spellcraft metaphysics, that is the highest. So I guess until one of them gets higher, they'll all advance at a pretty good rate. Applied Science is 7 as well. Okay, well, we are tired, but I do want to try and see if we can finish this tonight, so we're just going to push on for a little bit longer. Okay, so we have our felt patches, we have the yarn that's there. Just out of curiosity, I want to see if we can repair these right now. Okay, we can use the felt patches. The success chance isn't great. Oh boy. And hey, the wizard hat. That should be an easier one for us to do. We just need some cotton. Now, we are going to go to sleep, but I think before we do, I am going to go do another berry harvest just to make sure that we have a fair amount of food before we call it night. I'm also just going to get these doors open as well. Same with this front door. We didn't have any shrubbery nearby though, did we? No. Grove, could be fruit trees. I think we're just going to stay close and just harvest what we can. Okay, we are considered peckish at the moment because I did have to cast gluttonous consumption because we ate so many berries. But we are now at 31,000 calories for the day. Our iron consumption is 900%. Our calcium consumption, 300%. So I feel like we're eating enough food. But Dusk, for some reason, doesn't think that it is enough. Oh dear. Okay, well, we are going to try and sleep. Our bandaged head is still looking pretty good at the moment. We're going to work on fixing up some of our gear in the morning. And of course, we're going to be reading, we're going to be studying, we're going to be doing all of that good stuff. And good morning, world. What a night we have had. For one, we are famished when we wake up this morning. But we also underwent a number of mutations throughout the night, and there was a portal storm that came and went while we were sleeping. You can see that we lost and gained thin-skinned multiple times. We also had our heat-dependent mutation turn into very heat-dependent. So where it stands, we don't have thin-skinned, which that's good, but we also lost our light step mutation because, well, we are not so light on our feet anymore. We are very, very tall. And hey, the fire is still going this morning, so that's good. We're going to have our breakfast of mini berries, and then we're going to try and see if we can fix up some of Dusk's equipment. All right, focus is looking fantastic right now. Let's have a look at repairing. Okay, so as we can see, the chances are pretty low, but the damage chance isn't that bad at the moment. So we're going to try and say until we have a success or a failure. Okay, and we had a success, and the good thing is that the better quality or the less damaged it is, the less chance we have to actually damage it. And so I think we're probably going to be able to make it nearly the entire way through this, and sure enough, we do. Now this is the much more difficult one. The chances of us damaging it are far higher than us failing it, and we don't want to fail it, because if it's completely destroyed, then it's gone for good. So perhaps we want to try and entertain the idea of increasing our tailoring skill. Right now it's only 4, Our focus, well, it was good. We can get that to be better. We're going to turn on our MP3 player so we can listen to some music. And looking at our stored books, we're looking for something that is tailoring and, hey, is fun. That's good. Humane fashion. Let's learn a thing or two about tailoring in Dusk. She is a fast reader, so we should be learning from this quicker than we would otherwise. And yeah, our focus is soaring upwards. We're going to need some more batteries though. And there we go. Okay, we got to level 5 and we're famished again. Unbelievable as it is. Now, just having a look at everything that Dusk has going for her at the moment. Very tall, I think, is the thing that's causing the biggest difference. Big appetite. Yeah, I mean, that would do it, I think. We do have high thirst, so we need to drink more, but honestly, we don't notice that with how many berries we eat. We have a very fast metabolism, meaning we need to eat about twice as much food as the average human. So yeah, we can just see how these things kind of stack together to mean that Dusk, well, she needs to consume a very, very large amount of food. So much so that I feel like I don't know if we can get out of being underweight, because I mean, I guess if we constantly keep eating 30,000 calories a day, that might get us closer. Anyway, let's see if we're any closer to getting this repaired. Chances are still pretty freaking bad, and I think that's because while our theoretical knowledge has gone up, our practical knowledge won't have yet. Oh yeah, we've only got a practical level of 3, so I do think that we might be able to practice tailoring. Okay, so having a look at some of the skills that get us up. Chitin working is one, but we would need kiting and leather working to be able to actually do it. Yeah, so it seems like we need to try and get some of the basic principles down before we can kind of work on some of the other things. Joint articulation is one that we could practice, but we'd need to have some gloves and sheets to work on those. Not impossible for us to do, we just need to try and find the right stuff. Now, before I forget about it, I do want to have a look at that crystal that we picked up, the golden crystal, an attempt to activate it. Maybe before we do that though, we meditate. Grounding meditation. Yeah, let's give that a shot. Okay, alright, our mind is feeling cleared, so strange golden crystal. You gaze into the strange crystal and the light slowly grows brighter. You start emanating light, but as time progresses, it hardens around your skin and tightens, causing you pain. Its brightness leaving your head pounding and your eyes burning. As the light fades, you look once more into the crystal, realizing it is now dark. Okay, we were stunned for a moment there. Did that do anything for us at all? Can't say it did, but we now have 2 strange crystals, the black ones. So I guess maybe we did. We've not awakened anything else, but perhaps we will in time. Interesting. Oh, I do suppose one thing that we could possibly do to just engage our tailoring skill more is take apart stuff. So namely those patches that are there. Oh, or maybe not. The yarn can be salvaged for felt patches. Guess the question is, are we going to see an increase there or not? We were on 16%. Oh, we're also experiencing a headache right now. Okay. Also, we have no other effects. We have no mutagens in our system right now. Okay. We are still changing, but we have... That's so weird. It was just expelled from our system? Damn, we don't have any kind of direction, unfortunately. So I don't know if this is going to do anything for us anymore. Well, that's unfortunate. And strange that the mana one went as quickly as it did. It just kind of disappeared there. Yeah, bizarre. Well, that was only one part of the reading that I wanted to try and focus on while we're here. The other was fabrication, getting that higher. We do have one book here that seems to be fun, and another up here as well. Let us go with polymers for the time being. Our tablet PC seems to be churning through batteries super quickly. I don't know if it consumed power before when we were reading from them, but that seems to have changed recently. Well, we're hungry yet again, so we're going to pop outside and do yet another harvest. Kind of glad that we do have the bear trap there to kind of keep an eye on things for us. And we got a rhinoceros just hanging out here. I guess you'll work well as an early warning system. Brilliant. Small dinosaur eggs. Okay, they're not massive. I was expecting a little bit more in the way of calories, but hey, Something that we can eat before nightfall, I think. And we're back home, safe and sound. I'm going to turn on our electron overflow just in case it does start to charge some of our devices here. And we've got a tingle. Okay, it does look like it charges, it just charges kind of slowly. But in saying that, I think it's providing just enough power for it to stay operational while we're reading, which is great. Oh, but yeah, we fell asleep. Back to it, Dusk. We're going through the RivTech design binder at the moment. Oh, and we just lost our junk food intolerance. Well, that's great. It's not going to help us too much out here in the woods, but good to know. Oh, sweet tooth? Interesting. And yeah, well, I mean, we don't have a direction for our mutations right now, so they're kind of just happening. Let's see what Sweet Tooth does for us. You have a soft spot for processed foods and gain a morale bonus from eating them. Well, that's neat. Excellent. Okay, and that is our fabrication level at 7. We've been flying through that at the moment. Now, that is theoretical knowledge, not practical knowledge, but that still can take us a long way. Now, our calories that we consumed yesterday were a lot smaller than the total calories that we consumed the day before. Only 14,000 as opposed to 30,000. This is going to be incredibly difficult to stay on top of, but we are going to do our best. We are just going to be underweight quite often, I think. I just hope that we're able to kind of sustain that level though. That's the problem. But anyway, it is 3 in the morning. We are going to have ourselves another sleep. We'll see what the day brings tomorrow. Well, good morning. The mutation in our system has run its course, so no more mutations for now. But the first thing today is going to be heading outside and harvesting all that we can. Oh boy, we just mutated while we were out here eating berries. We mutated vines, and it seems to be a negative mutation for us. You've developed several vines sprouting from your shoulder area. They're bulky and get in the way. So the way that I kind of see this from the look of things is they'd almost operate like a cape or a cloak growing from Dusk's shoulders and kind of down towards her back. But they're not really usable. We can't do anything with them yet, but we may be able to in time. Yeah, we're mutating even though I think the stuff is out of our system right now. So, okay, the genetic instability is doing its thing. And we are back, and we've done a lot of eating. A lot of gluttonous consumption has helped us reach this point. I'm just going to take apart some of the tables in here just so we can have a nice fire going while we're working. There we go, not half bad, Dusk. We'll keep our electron overflow active if we can. Let's get to work. Now, I don't think we have any fabrication. Oh no, I lie. We do have fabrication books that are still fun. We'll stick with the history of firefighting for now. Oh my gosh, would you believe it? We're a normal weight. Unbelievable. All this eating has actually got us gaining weight. It's possible. The dream is alive. Fantastic. Yeah, so yesterday we consumed nearly 20,000 calories. And I think we only spent 4,000 calories, so yeah, we are actually starting to store them. Good. Oh, and it took us a lot to get there, but we're at level 8 fabrication now. Dusk has had her fill of berries, and now we're gonna go and get some much-deserved sleep. Good evening, folks. We are wandering in the woods late at night. It is a fresh day for Dusk. There is a swarming amalgamation here, but we're not interested in that. We're going to be trying to make our way up towards the cabin tonight, the Magicalism cabin. Also, I've just noticed like a interesting structure here, city building east. Maybe because we haven't fully seen it, it's showing up as this. That could be a new thing. You can make out some details of what's here. You can only make out outlines. That may be from an update, so I'd be tempted to have a look and see what we are looking at there. Because yeah, we're just seeing obscure shapes from a distance. Which if that's how the distant view works, I kind of like that going forwards. Makes the satellite views and stuff like that much more valuable. But yes, let's continue on. We're going to try and leave the amalgamation behind, but will it leave us? Who knows? We are kind of harvesting along the way, so we maybe shouldn't be doing that, but oh no, looks like it might have left us for the moment. We're certainly going to check the grove up ahead just to see what kind of grove it is. It looks like it's all beech trees, so yeah, not that useful to us. We do have the shrubbery up here as well though, so we'll investigate that. We will be making use of our gluttonous consumption spell here as well, just to make sure that we can eat more. think the idea of packing on the pounds right now will be more valuable to us, although, we just shifted over to a new day, and that is us at capacity at the moment, and oh yeah, so this is all underbrush, so we could potentially find some rather interesting things amongst all the underbrush here, potentially large dinosaur eggs, which would be useful. So we'll just have a quick little search around here, see if we find anything worthwhile. Nothing that's really lighting my fire, so let's just move on towards the cabin. Ah yes, okay, no, we have been here, good to know for certain. We needed a little bit of fresh air anyway. Okay, back to our home. And because so many days have been passing, we could probably check and see if things have changed out at the Forge of Wonders. Perhaps we'll do that after tomorrow's reading. Well, I guess today's reading. Oh, and we are going to need some more wood, aren't we? So we're going to go and take apart some of these countertops here, just making sure that we have more than enough wood to go around. It's purely just for enjoyment's sake, as we know we can generate our own light if we need to. Alright, that's a nice fire. We're feeling happy about that. Let's go turn on our MP3 player and let's get reading. And yeah, we're going to continue on with our history of firefighting because that's the best one for us, I believe. Oh, we do actually have Weapons of Asgard and Beyond. I mean, yes, learning about that would be very good. I do actually wonder if the Asgardian weapons would be better than that one in the Dwarvish Tome. Oh, do we not have our Electron Overflow active? Yeah, we didn't. Okay, well, we're going to need that now. And with that, we have 9 fabrication. Excellent. Time for sleep, Dusk. And it's been another 9,000 calorie day. It's been 4,000, so we probably do need to be eating more than we have been eating. But I really haven't been holding back. More harvesting tomorrow. Alright, we're up, we're about. We're going to get harvesting outside, and we're going to go and see if there's anything new at Velzane's. We still have spells that we need to learn, spells that we got semi-recently from him. Oh, we got 2 Pachyrhinosaurus now. Extra protection. Ah, okay. Velzane will have some new equipment in 19 hours and 56 minutes. Just trying to decide if we want... I mean, how much do we have? Oh, we still have a lot. We can totally afford that. Okay, we've got a lot of denarii. So we could get the Bicephalus eel ring if we desire. Would probably replace our speed ring. Allows you to dodge 2 extra attacks per turn. The idea of that, I think, appeals to me. If that's the case, it's probably worth us trying to trade one of the other rings, namely that speed ring. Yeah, I think we do. So, trading for the eel ring. Just gonna see if there's anything else that we want to grab. Of course, we could do greater wizardry again, but I feel like we want to have a little bit more capability there. Or variety is perhaps the right word. The protection ring is also very tempting, but it does, the force. Oh, hang on, some of the force of damage you take. See, I thought it was just force damage, but no, reduces some of the force of damage you take when wearing it. Damn. So, is dodging better or is protection better? That's the old armor versus dodge value kind of argument. Could we afford you? Maybe. I mean, not with the other ring, of course. Let's see here. Yeah, not quite. Not quite. 3,000 short. Yeah, and that's a considerable amount. We can't quite make that up. Okay, so if not that one, +6 is still pretty good. And then we can decide if we really want to spend that much on a ring in the future, and we can always give that ring to someone else, right? So we'll settle up the difference. I'm pretty happy with that there. Let's call it a deal, my friend. And yes, our social skill gets a tiny bit better. So then, I don't know if we're going to see the benefit that we get from it, but we're going to chuck on the Ring of Protection. And I don't know if it'll just give us like an additional trait, or there's no effects that we're seeing. We will just have to trust that it's going to reduce damage overall. Okay, well, we'll pop back here in about a day's time and see what's going on. At least the magic books and scrolls and things like that won't be that expensive for us to pick up. And it does seem like we have a little bit of a dead presence over by the corpse, the remains of the dragon. We may be able to try and pull the items along. I think that could be the fastest method to actually get that stuff across there. We can consider that, can't we? You know, I think that could be worthwhile. So we are heading in that direction. I would like to have a few things up before we get into any fights there though. We'll get our electric eye active, and of course we are still going to need to have the umbrella up. but then we'll just go for our regular electrical discharges and our voltaic strikes. And of course, we'll be changing over to force unarmed. Okay, so we do have scales here, which I should be able to get back. We've got smoke in the woods. Okay, well, let's move up towards this zombie here. As it tries to grab us, Dusk annihilates it. Well and truly, we'll take that memory card as well, thank you. Let's just get everything out of the woods here. Shrieker, alright, let's take you if we can. Dodging and weaving here, Dusk gets a really good strike. The critical putting this one down, and ooh, okay. I guess we could sell that book potentially, but I want what you got. Yeah, let's take the book, sure. Oh, and a giant wasp guard is dangerously close. Yeah, that is certainly dangerously close. Well, it seems to be rather injured right now, and we're getting a few good strikes there. Good job, Dusk. I wouldn't mind having our blade right now. What we do have is a zombie over here, which, hey, if we had that spell, we might be able to try and take control of it, but right now, we're doing just fine. That's a nice big electrical cloud that you got there, Dusk. Okay, and it looks like we got a grapple that we're gonna have to deal with. We'll try and smash the remains of this body before we move on though. We don't want that wasp guard coming back to life. Self-defense for your child. I guess we could try and sell that as well. Imagine it's not gonna sell for too much, but we could always give it a shot, couldn't we? There's some crack there as well. Okay, is that everyone? I mean, there is still a little bit of smoke out there, but I think that's probably the worst of it. So let's stop concentrating just so that, well, we're doing okay. And you know what I would like to try and do? Our focus is all right now. We could put our MP3 player on to try and make that get a little bit better. And I want to try and go to torrential channeling so that we have more power to us. And Farhand is what I'm wanting to do, but apparently it's too difficult for us to do right now. Farhand is specifically for moving objects, items towards us or away from us. Too difficult, really. Power level 9, I guess we do need to have it be better. Yeah, I'm just surprised it's too difficult. We're not in pain. Focus is alright, but it certainly could be better. I guess we could just kind of go for regular channeling, but then again, extended, it just takes longer, but it guarantees that you're going to be able to do it. What kind of range do we have with this? Okay, just enough to reach it. Range 9. And it gets most of the way. Okay, this I still think is the fastest way for us to... Oh man, it's gonna be a lot of RSI. Yeah, I mean, let's just have a look and see how long it takes to haul here. Okay, it takes multiple minutes. So yeah, this is gonna take us a while. It's gonna be thirsty work by the looks of things. That's okay, we've got lots of things that we can eat that hydrate us. Yeah, I think this is what we go for. And then we just try and trade the scales for Denarii before they restock. Now obviously it would be faster if we were to do this without our, oh boy, Wasp Queen. Doesn't sound good, but I imagine it is pretty far away. Yeah, we'll ignore that if we can. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on it. Well, we're able to haul at least a little bit faster towards the end here, but it's still taken quite a while to get all this over here. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this over towards the pirates because they kind of deal in reagents more than anything. Alright, I'm going to hope that that's far enough. Helen, hi. Nope, needs to be closer. That should hopefully do it. Okay, alright, so they do sell for a decent amount. Is that the highest that we're going to get for them? Maybe 19. We could always just take one of them and then go check with the others. Obviously, if we improved our social skills, we would have a little bit of a better price as well. Yeah, no, okay, right. Definitely best sold to them. So we should be able to get 1,000 denarii worth. Yeah. All right, that's not too bad. I'll take that as it is. And then when are you getting new stuff? 9 hours and 22 minutes. Thank you very much. Oh wow, and we can see just how many scales they've got there now. Okay, so we're going to go back towards our little home for the moment. We're going to try and see if we can get that fabrication up to 9, and also we're gonna eat. Alright, and seeing as we are quite thirsty, I'm going to make sure that we get water into our hydration pack, and then we'll go use a purification tablet on there. Oh, we don't have water to purify? What is in the hydration pack at the moment? Nothing. Interesting. Okay, so that's not working as intended. Well, let's just pour water into this keg over here, into the water heater. So that's now full, good. That's just regular water at the moment. Dispense, pour it into a container, hydration pack. Okay. And the hydration pack just doesn't seem to work anymore. Okay, so I feel like that's kind of broken, unfortunately. Righto. Oh, while we're here, let's unload the Endless Flask. We're going to pour that into, well, that plastic bottle there. And then let's see if we can activate the Endless Flask. Turn on. Okay, full of sweet, sweet whiskey. So it does work, and it gives us whiskey, which isn't going to hydrate us, but does give us calories. Not great for our health, though, to be eating a ridiculous, or rather drinking a ridiculous amount of that. But yeah, unfortunately, we don't have anything that we can, pour this into right now, because the hydration pack doesn't want to work. Well, we will just be able to have more berries in a moment or two. Okay, we've got a nice fire raging. We're going to get some electron flowing, and then we'll get back to reading. And I think we're going to stick with the Asgardian book. Oh, and this is actually to max out our fabrication to get it up to 10. And it looks like that might have to wait because we are already falling asleep. Okay, we'll leave the fire on for now. We'll try and have a decent slumber. Okay, and the plan for our day, first of all, is to harvest. Then we'll be heading back and finishing our fabrication research, learning some spells, and then seeing what Valsane has. I think we should be able to do all of that before the end of today's episode. Oh, okay, I just backed up all of our cards onto a memory card, so I'm very glad that we did that. We had one that was encrypted. But we have a backup of our books now. About damn time. And there we have it, Jack of all trades. With the right amount of glue, there is nothing I can't do. Fabrication level 10. Dusk, well done. Now we are tired, but I did promise that we were going to try and learn some of those new spells, and we will attempt to do that. So let's see here. We still have a few in a beginner's guide. Oh, right, knowing the day and hour. We'll come back to that one, but first, domination. Excellent, one down, onto Heart of the Hurricane. Now onto the last one, Lesser Quantum Tunnel. Excellent. Okay, so we have learned all of those. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to use all of them right off the get-go. So for Storm Shaper, Heart of the Hurricane, 79% chance that we fail at this. Compress the fury of the hurricane winds into a thin shell of raging air around yourself. This will make it harder for you to lose your footing or be knocked down, and occasionally we will throw attackers away from us. But the whirling winds are loud. Okay, lasts for 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Takes 14 seconds to cast though, which is pretty long. I want to try and see if we can cast it at least once to begin with. Okay, there we go. We've learnt how to cast the spell now. And hopefully that means it should cast a little bit faster. No, still 14 seconds, but a higher chance of it succeeding and all the rest. Domination, I think we're actually going to need some dead to be nearby for us to succeed at that. Lesser Quantum Tunnel. It's only 100 moves for us to cast. Range 5, variance 4. So I think that, okay. Yeah, it just does it. No targeting, it's just bam. Okay, I wonder if there's a chance you could end up in the wall. That's kind of a little terrifying. Okay, so that's that. Also, I think we should be able to have a look at that longsword recipe now. I think it might be this one here. Yeah, material, mithril, cut 54. That is very, very nice. Now the question is, we actually have the ingots that we need, and I would assume that most of the tools necessary would be at a elf workshop. It only takes a day and an hour to make, which is kind of, minor failure chances though are very high, considering that we just don't have the proficiencies and, well, we don't actually have the practical knowledge, but this is the best way for us to learn this. Oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong one, but yeah. And I wonder if we can enchant it from that point on. Even the enchanted ones aren't as good as this. It's made from mithril after all. The rapid strikes will be great. The 2-hit bonus is also fantastic. But are some of the weapons that we can learn from our other book better? Our Asgardian book. Let's just have a look at that real quick. Okay, yeah, so there are quite a few. Flaming Fist, Gauntlet of Pounding. Those things do sound fun. So they would more than likely be, weapons, and we can see them at the top here. Gram, the Sword of Sigurd. It is rumored to be the sword that slayed the legendary dragon Fafnir. Once said to have cleaved Regan's anvil in half, the edge is impeccable. And while it's good, still not as good as that mithril blade. Well, it's saying the damage over time, or damage per second, could be better. But we're going to go through the rest here. We have Gungnir, the Spear of Odin. Pretty nice. It has reach as well. Not bad. The Bow of Odin, also super freaking cool. Range damage is good. The crit multiplier, also good. Not half bad. The Staff of Loki, and it works as a magical focus as well. This could be a good one for us, really. Need some orichalcum in there as well. But the bash and cut, having a bit of the two, is quite nice. It's got a high blocking ability, sweep attack, and the fact that you can cast with it is also quite good. And then of course we have Mjolnir. The bash is fantastic, the piercing is great. Yeah. And then, of course, our mithril longsword. Now, I guess the only thing about this is that could we potentially have better blades by using our magic? I gotta think no, because those blades are from Magicalism. I imagine they're probably the very best we can get. So if we were to use, say, Mage Blade, for example, see if we can summon this. There we go. Okay, we have our Mage Blade in hand. Okay, it's nowhere near as good. That, I think, is to be expected. Yeah, so making that longsword, I think that's our next move. But before anything else, we are going to move on down towards the Forge of Wonders one last time today to see what they have to offer. Okay, very first thing we're going to do is try and sell some more of those scales. There we go, settling up for 18 denarii. Unfortunately, no mutagenic potions for us here, but that's okay, we can live with that. We'll accept that trade. Next, checking on our librarian down here. Coagulant Weave turns your biological mastery inwards, medically enhancing your flesh. Rather than the strength of healing, it staves off blood loss and purges wounds before they can turn septic at the cost of increased hunger and thirst. Okay, fun. We'll pick that up, thank you. Grotesque Enhancement. Another Biomancer skill, a spell that warps your body in alien ways to increase your physical abilities and strength. Excellent. Sounds like a lot of fun. Then we have the Journeyman Enchanter's Primer down here that hasn't been read. Sure, we will pick that up as well, thank you. And I think we do have some books of our own to trade. Oh, and the Black Dragon Scales do sell for an okay amount down here as well. That is good to know. So we should be able to pick up those extra denarii. There we go. We'll take all of those denarii. Excellent. Now finally, Valzane. I did see a scroll there. Also, Gunblade. What in the Final Fantasy VIII? Constructed similarly to a falcata, this forward-sloping blade has a short barrel pump shotgun attached to the blade's spine for finishing blows or first strikes. Interesting? And kind of cool. The cut and bash is pretty freaking good. The 2-hit is -2 though, so it'll be a little bit more difficult to strike with it, but kind of fun that you can shoot slugs out of it. Got a nice arming sword down here, Lucer and hammer, which, wow, that is a heck of a weapon, and it can make reach attacks as well. The moves per attack, it's not that bad for the amount of damage it does. That bash and piercing is nice. So let's see what else you've got for us, eh? Ever-burning torches? Okay. Now I've been told that they're quite useful because they're a constant source of fire. We can generally generate that quite well, but that might be something that we could even cook by. I think we'll pick one up. Interesting. Okay, we do have a few books that we can pick up here as well, manuals. Liminal Pathways, Wrathful Spirits and Spirit Walk, Animus Spells, a famous animist grimoire from early modernity. Its cryptic passages describe and map connections between the spiritual world and ours. Useful, very useful, the kind of thing that Dusk needs to bring back her brother, no doubt. And it's expensive, but we should be able to afford that. Then we have Explosive Decompression, a Storm Shaper spell. Create a high-pressure zone originating from the selected point shortly after a massive pressure wave will crush everything in sight, inflicting barotraumatic injuries on everyone affected. That sounds absolutely deadly. I'm all about it. And then Technomancy and the Electromagnetic Spectrum. This lab reference material book is thick and overflowing with information on combining magic with EM radiation. So we have Tase, Laze, Ninth Shot, Power Supply, Imbue with Lightning, All very interesting sounding spells. And then of course we have some more warp scrolls down here. A lesser dimensional bag and a super gravity preservation box. Okay. So the lesser dimensional bag has a volume of 40 liters and it can take up to 50 kgs. This is a bag that can contain more than it should. The bag magically reduces the weight of its contents and expands less than the amount of the stuff that you put into it. It takes a few words and hand waving to take the item out. I would really like to get this. Maximum item volume, 7,000 liters. Okay, yeah, it's expensive, but oh man, I don't know if we have enough anymore. Also, super gravity preservation box. Wow. A box that uses gravity to preserve food. It makes the box much heavier, but anything in it lasts far longer than you can store. So good if you had a home base, I think. The volume is decent. Okay, well, can we come close to affording that dimensional bag and everything else? We still have a lot of denarii. Short by 400. I reckon we can make up that difference somehow. That, or we're just gonna have to learn how to speak better. I mean, we could sell back the heat cube. That's also pretty useful. Alternatively, we could just not get everything. We can also leave the torch behind. I think that's a good start. Right now, we're close, but no cigar. We could sell like the heat cube and the infinite throwing knives, but they're still pretty useful, especially if we're to like throw a grenade. We want to make sure that we've got those equipped, although it didn't help us that much in the past, did it? No, I think we come back once we have a little bit more available to us. We could always have a look to see if there's something that we can purchase from one of the others that we can then trade to Valzane for a similar kind of value. But really, denarii is the only thing that seems to carry that kind of value. So, Legionnaires, it is with that our episode of Study comes to a close. Dusk has a goal now. That blade, that longsword. If she can make that, she'll have a heck of a weapon on her hands. And also, with the spells that she has access to, makes her even more of a weapon. But of course, we want to grab the rest of the spells from here before we wander further. Dusk's next goal most certainly is going to be trying to construct that blade, as with that, she'll be able to face down many a dangerous foe. And of course, if we really, truly do need a lot more denarii, we know how to get that, and there may yet be more corpses that we can gather, although by now many of them will have rotten, no doubt. Nevertheless, I'd like to thank you all for joining me for yet another episode here in the Cataclysm. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a comment or a like to let me know if you enjoyed the show. As for now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.